Yay!
Yeah. Hi, Lynne. Hi, April. And today's chat conversation is with Lynne Bowkett, who lives in Newport, South Wales. And I've known Lynne for many years, and she's a therapist, well-known therapist in Newport. I think, I don't know if you are also a national, do you do therapies throughout?
Throughout Wales. I've got clients in sort of West Wales as well.
West Wales, yes. She's very, very clued into what's happening right now. She does the template ceremonies, which she'll explain in a moment. And we've got April Rogers, who also is based here in Newport, South Wales. And she's an astrologer, writer, or you name it. She's published.
I tried.
And she's a very good astrologer. And maybe she'll tell us a bit about what's happening right now.
Sorry.
It's Wednesday. We're having fun here because first of all, the alarm went off here, and then the dog started to howl, and now the cat has made an appearance. This is wonderful. Okay, thank you, Lynne, for joining us today, and hopefully you can tell us a bit more about. I really love the template ceremonies. I don't think many people have heard about this particular technique that you've been teaching people. And also the people who brought it down, who channeled it. Also, if you could tell us about them. And then April will ask you some questions, some personal questions. I know you didn't want to ask, but it should be fun. Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself. It's all right, the cat wants to get...
She wants a fuss.
Yes, okay. So what's her name?
This is Pippi Ray. Pippa, after the seed of life, and Ray from the ray of sunshine.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
well,
she's very
cloudy
vocal
here today, but she's brought us sunshine, which is nice.
Yes, there we are. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm a therapist. My main discipline is kinesiology, which is rebalancing the body's energies. I also do other energy techniques as well, and chakra work and crystal work, but my main discipline is kinesiology. And I also do something called the template. I'm an ambassador for the first 6 ceremonies. There are 16 in all. And it's about reconnecting electromagnetic circuitry, which has been disconnected in the human hologram. It's very interesting as to what is happening at the moment, because we're kind of at a crossover, if you like, from one overlord to another overlord. And so it's a huge power shift from the west over to the east. And so all of the things that have been in place for the last 2,000 years are being disrupted, and there's a new regime coming in. And this, it's affecting us. Of course, with the technological advances, huge technological advances, and with 5G, that is really going to mess up our whole energy system. And we don't even have a say about it, because 5G affects water very much, and our body is 85% water.
Yeah, what do you mean by overlord?
Overlord, it's I didn't really want to go into this, but we know that it's not just the governments that rule the world; they are puppets. And it's the overlord, or the main ruler is from a family of beings that actually disconnected our circuitry in the first place thousands and hundreds of thousands of years ago. We are immortal beings. We are absolutely incredible beings if all our circuitry and if our brain and our hormonal system and all of the other systems were working properly. 2% of our DNA is active. and we operate on about 10 to 15% of our brain. So you can imagine what we would be like if we were 100% active on both of those
we'll be able to
parts.
fly in the air.
We are multidimensional beings anyway.
Yeah.
We are multidimensional, and we will be able to operate on every single level. And that is how we used to be.
Yeah.
It's not a question of we're evolving. We have actually devolved, and we're going back to how we originally are meant to be. We're living in almost like a paradigm that has been put in a loop, if you like. We're out of the immortal paradigm. We're out of the paradigm that we should be in. We're out of the immortal continuum. And by reconnecting the 33 circuits, the basic circuits in the body, and then reconnecting them again on a multidimensional level through the full 16 ceremonies, then that actually puts us with our circuitry reconnected and can allow us to begin to deprogram from all of the limiting beliefs and patterns that we have had over the last hundreds of thousands of years, passed down either genetically, through our ancestral belief systems, through culture, through education, through religion, all of that impacting on our true being. And it's not about sort of getting a guru to tell you what to do. It's about connecting with our own sovereignty and being true to ourselves and allowing our own self to come through, to be our own sovereign, if you like.
Yes.
I love that word, sovereignty. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we should be.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we are incredible beings. We
I know,
are absolutely phenomenal.
I know, because with my testing, I'm learning so much about how we operate, what's inside of us, you know. It's mind-boggling. And they're telling us that the genes, and the DNA and how we operate is magnificent. Whoever thought of creating somebody like us, you know. We've got trillions of cells, and each cell has got the DNA, and the DNA's got like, I don't know, 6 feet, you know, across.
Well, they say we've got 2 strands of DNA going to 12. Well, in actual fact, we're probably going to far more than that, because we are actually multidimensional beings. So our DNA is multidimensional as well. So it's more than just 12-strand DNA. It's more than 64-strand, really. It's countless DNA that we are capable of having.
It's only like 4 letters, apparently, isn't it? Like, and then the DNA switches, and then it creates lots of little. But
and it can manifest itself in a multitude of ways, in endless ways.
Well, this is they call it the DNA switches, and it's like switch here, switch there, and we're just, you know, people don't realize how amazing we are.
Yes, and that is as we're functioning now. For the majority, you know, all of us, I think, are kind of, well, as I say, functioning on 2% active DNA, and it's about 15% of our brain. So we are severely limited and restricted in what we are actually accessing and what we are capable of giving out.
So, Lynne, is there anything that we can actually eat or take that will help our brain be more switched on? Like at the moment, I'm taking ginkgo every night because that's really good for the brain. But is there anything that you particularly recommend?
Well, I would say essential fatty acids, the 3, 6, and 9, because that's good for the brain. I would also say a good, healthy diet of fruit and vegetables. I'm vegan myself, so I'm going to plug that.
Oh, I'm plant-based. I'm not just vegan. I'm plant-based.
No, that is what vegan is. Vegan is
vegan. You can eat soya. You can eat, you know.
Well, soya is plant. Yeah, but
Yeah, what I'm saying is like you can, you know,
yes.
it's like a lot of processed stuff.
Oh no, you don't. But that's rubbish. Well,
No,
not
that's
rubbish,
what they
but
say. You know, the idea.
You know, so if you eat healthily, if you eat food, real food,
yeah,
you know, things that come out of the ground or off trees, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling my clients. I'm telling my clients that's what they've got to do. They've got to follow a plant-based diet.
Yes. So
no sugar,
yes, clean up.
No,
no sugar.
Do you have a particular oil that you use, Lynne? Is there any? You mentioned about the fatty acids. Is there?
I use olive oil, but you know, extra virgin olive oil, but I also use coconut oil.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah, that's the two things I use really.
Yes. So that's about all. I don't tend to use others. Very occasionally, I'll have walnut oil, but it's mainly olive oil and, you know, the extra virgin olive oil and coconut oil.
Yeah.
And I make my own body butter with coconut oil and shea butter. I get the clarified coconut oil for that because it's clear and you can just use it straight on your skin. And it's really nice, because you just don't know what goes into, you know, the other body butters that you buy.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So do you take any vitamins at all as well?
I take a handful. No, I do take quite a lot because I know, although I eat healthily, I know that the foods that we are eating are compromised. And so you cannot get all of the vitamins and minerals that you need from the foods that are grown now because of, you know, even organic is compromised by the rain.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because of they call it the glue sulfate or something like that in
it's well rain is precipitated from water, and rain is precipitated. It's water precipitated into clouds and then into rain, and then it's taken to somewhere else. So we don't know how the soil or the ground that it's come from. We don't know how that's been compromised.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know,
and so is David Icke correct in saying that the people at the top, the globalists, they're hybrids?
They probably could be, because it's the Anunnaki who are the beings that came down in the first place, and that they are the overlord. You know, there's one overlord from the Anunnaki family taking over. You know, they kind of have a 2,000-year tenure, if you like, of leadership, and then they pass on to the next one. And there are hybrids. We all have DNA from the Anunnaki in us because they spliced their genetics into us, and it's our reptilian brain, it's our hindbrain.
Oh yes, that's right. So, but how can we defeat them?
Well, it's not a question of defeating them. We're not here to defeat them, we're here to heal them, because as they actually spliced their DNA into us to make us more aggressive and to shorten, and when they disconnected our circuitry, they shortened our lifespan completely, because we are originally immortal, because our cells, every single cell in the body has the ability to regenerate and rejuvenate itself. And scientists don't know why we die. The cells have been programmed to die, but they have the capacity to regenerate and rejuvenate. And so and so by being programmed to die, which is what they have done, they can, and then we're reborn, and then we die, and we're on it like a loop.
So where do they come from?
It's a natural loop.
Where do they come from, the Anunnakis, then?
The Anunnaki, well, they come from another solar system, and from a planet called Nibiru. They're extremely long-lived, and they wanted what we had, and that's immortality, and that is in our DNA. Ooh. And so that's why they're trying to harvest that.
So Lynne, if you don't mind me asking, so where did you actually get this information from?
It's from the template itself. Juliet and Jeeva Carter have been bringing this information through for the last 30 years and developing they kind of developed it into a metaphysical framework for human and planetary ascension, basically, because we view reality through consensus reality. So it's the reality of everyone. Now you can change that reality. So if there are enough people, you can actually change. A bit more than that, I think, to change our whole reality.
The Bible said 144,000.
Yeah, well, we can actually get back into the paradigm that we are originally supposed to be on, because we're in a kind of a twisted. It's been slightly twisted, and so we're in a warp, if you like. We're not on the true immortal continuum at all, and by reconnecting circuitry and by changing our frequency, upgrading our frequency, by making ourselves clearer through deprogramming from all of the negative things that are holding us back, and all of the belief systems and our patterns of living and eating the flesh of animals. I mean, animals are sentient beings just like us.
Oh God, yeah. We've got lovely cows here, and you look at them, you think, oh no, how can anyone eat them? Oh no.
Yeah, they are just as intelligent as us.
But Lynne, you know the template ceremonies, can you do that on Zoom maybe? Is that possible?
I guess it probably could be. I know that there are the first 3 are out on not DVD, on the web or whatever. Eventually, Juliet and Jiva want all 16 to be out, so that anyone can access them.
That would be really good, because April's done the first one.
Right.
I did the first one,
First one, and I've done 6, haven't I?
Yeah.
So I need to do the I'm only 50% updated. I want to be 100%. Sorry.
I was going to say, well, Juliet and Jiva, for the first time last November, and then in January, they're holding ceremonies 7 through to 16 in 2 days.
Good, yeah.
And I hold now ceremonies 1 to 6 in 2 days, or I can even hold 1 to 6 in 1 day if people really want that. It would be a long day, but it means that people don't have to take so much time off work to go and do them.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is that you don't get quite the information, as much information.
Could you do it on Zoom?
I guess you could do it on Zoom,
because there's no touching. You know, it's all watching.
It's all just watching. Visual. It's three-dimensional.
Yeah. So you could easily do that on Zoom.
Yes, you could do 1 to 6 on Zoom. Yes,
yeah.
I
and
could,
the rest,
hold 1
and
to
the
6.
rest as well.
Well, Juliet and Jiva, what they wouldn't do it on Zoom. What they're doing is they are making sure that the ceremonies that they actually put onto film, if you like, or onto that, they are first class. So that they can be used again and again and again. So it's not quite the same as having a group of people there doing it. Their ceremonies are first class quality that they are putting out on film.
So do you know if people have changed? People have done the 16.
Oh, hugely.
How has it changed you?
How has it changed? I've been involved with the ceremonies for over 20 years now, so I've been doing it slowly, but it has changed me completely. I'm far more grounded, but also I feel you can see what is happening. You can see underneath the crap that's going on out there. You can see the fear. And you choose not to buy into it. You're not as brainwashed. You kind of can pull away from the brainwashing, and I feel as if I'm my own individual, and I feel as if I have my sovereignty. I'm a sovereign sentient being, I'm a conscious conduit of light and love, able to give and receive love in all that I do, which are quotes from the template, but it's part of who I am. And I also see all other sentient beings as the same. And that's given me a completely, well, I've always loved animals, but it's given me a completely different appreciation of what even a little mouse gives.
Yeah,
because that mouse has its,
I find nature also uplifting. Nature is just like,
but nature is part of us. It's the matrix.
And April wanted to say something. Okay, April. Well,
so I think that there may be many people watching this and saying, well, where does God come into this? Because you mentioned these lords and you've mentioned us. And so what would you say to that?
There is no God. God is a human concept. We are all part of the universe. We are a fractal aspect of creation. We are all creators. We are all gods.
Because it's an idea you can't grasp, because it's like we are part of this whole, but then when
we are it, we are God.
There is definitely something, if you don't want to call it a God, or there are unseen helpers. I know that. I've had incredible proof. I've seen them, I've spoken to them. So where would that fall in this?
They are the beings from different dimensions, and they could be aspects of ourselves. We don't know, because we are so stuck in the lower levels of three-dimensionality, you know, we're sort of just coming out of two-dimension into three-dimension thinking. And we're not, we're right in the lower duality of that at the moment. And it's about being multidimensional. And then,
Lynne, they're talking about this 5G. Well, we know about 5G, but also the fifth dimension that we're going to go into. Is that a coincidence with the 5G and the fifth dimension?
I don't think so. I think 5G is just a bandwidth that they are trying to kind of get everything on, the sort of 5G is, I think it's a slower bandwidth, so they can get more on it, basically. And so they can have more running electric cars and all sorts of different things, and then screw up our bodies.
But do you think it might push us into this fifth dimension?
No, we're multidimensional beings. We shouldn't really be, we have the ability.
No. We have, but we need that bit of energy to move up.
Our Earth, as it is, won't move anywhere in this paradigm. If we experience ascension as such, that way it would be planetary ascension. So this Earth would still be left here, and the beings that want to stay here would still be here. But the ascension process the Earth would go back to the immortal continuum, and that is multidimensional.
So you think there's another Earth and there's a lower vibration?
No. We are in a false paradigm.
It's the matrix, isn't it?
So so the matrix would stay, but that isn't true. We're not in a true paradigm, if you like. We're in a looped paradigm and the systems that is systemically destroying itself, because the systems are all breaking down, because there's no progression. There's really no expansion of our consciousness. We're just stuck. We haven't really evolved spiritually over the last 100,000 years, because look at the number of murders and rapes and pedophilia is rife. I mean, this is a spiritual being.
Where do they come from?
Little children. It's awful.
But these people
we haven't advanced.
No.
But
these people who are the globalists and the rapists, and where do they come from?
What do you mean?
But why are they so? I mean, the majority of people are peace loving. Mm-hmm. It's a few with anger issues and then blah blah blah, addiction.
Yeah, I think most people have been brainwashed. We all have been brainwashed. We're all living in under this matrix of consensus belief systems, and that's to do with ancestral belief systems, cultural belief systems, religious belief systems that all make us behave like sheep. And we all hand our power.
We need to escape this prison.
We reclaim our power. Yeah, we give away our power to experts. But
the number of experts on radio and television, they drive me. I wish I would.
We give away our power, and we have been taught to do this.
But they're on radio, they're on television, they're the experts, they're the professors, they're the scientists telling us what to do and not to do. And I think we should just zap them. But how do we do this?
Well, I wouldn't say zap them, poor things. They just need to be re-educated or de-educated. Yeah. No, it's sad. It's sad that people aren't thinking. They believe everything that they hear on the television, because there's all these subliminal messages coming out as well. So it's all just very low-key brainwashing completely, that we need to have a doctor to tell us what's wrong with us. And so doctors are useful, very useful, but then we know our own bodies, and the number of people who know there's something wrong with them and the doctors say there isn't, and then something horrible happens to that person because they know. Doctors have their place, they're great, but they're not gods.
They've got limited knowledge anyway.
Yeah, well, like everyone.
And they only spend like half a day on a particular subject, and then they go on to another subject.
Yeah,
they don't have and if you go and see them, they've got their books, and they go,
So Lynne, tell me, is there actually a book that somebody could go into the shop or go on Amazon and buy that would explain this template theory?
World Bridger. It's World Bridger by Juliet and Jiva Carter, and I think you can get it on Amazon. They would have to go online to get it, but yes, that explains up to ceremony 6, and that's because there's ceremony 1 to 5 is the first level of it, then ceremony 6 to 10 is the second level, if you like. Ceremony 1 to 5 is the foundation. Then we have the activation and integration, and then we have the actualization from 11 to 15, and then ceremony 16 kind of wraps it all up.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So how many people would you say worldwide are following this doctrine?
Oh, it's not a doctrine.
No,
it's not a doctrine.
Well, whatever you want to describe it as.
No, we can't call it a doctrine.
Follow the knowledge.
Yes.
What would you call it then?
Well,
I would
call it a system of reconnecting your electromagnetic circuitry. There's no doctrine there. There's no hierarchy. There's no gurus. Juliet and Jiva would hate to be called gurus. Absolutely. It's using sacred geometry to reconnect circuitry. It's using sunlight as our source of information, of light information, and it's using breath to bridge the worlds.
Okay, so you don't know how many people roughly? I
don't know.
Is it big in America?
How many would have done? I'm just trying to think how many would have done ceremony 16.
We've got 10 minutes left.
Yeah. Okay. Probably only about. I don't even know whether 1,000 would have done ceremonies up to 16, because ceremony 16, 14 to 16 have literally just been brought through in the last 3 years.
Wow, so it's still relatively new.
Well,
so it's
ceremony
really
one has been going. No, sorry.
Yeah.
She's. Come on, Baba. Come on. Ceremony one has been. I think Juliet started ceremony one about 30 years ago.
Wow.
It's taken so long, but the last few ceremonies have come through really quickly because of what is happening globally.
Yeah.
And
So
the frequency is
we've
right.
only got to, can you just summarize for us what you see the future to be? This COVID-19 thing.
Oh, yeah. The whole that was definitely a culling virus, wasn't it? It was. Personally, I think this is only my own thoughts that it was deliberately manufactured to cull a certain percentage and a particular part of society, particular people.
But it's backfired on them, Lynne. It's backfired because people are changing, people are thinking, people are rising. It's backfired on them.
But you see, this is what is happening. The more light that comes in, the more darkness. But then to balance it out, because in duality. But then again, the more darkness, the more light. Yeah. So they come in with a huge dark plan, and more light will be generated to actually balance that. You see, and so yeah. Sorry,
Lynne. I was going to say, can you think of maybe 3 things that you would advise people during these strange times that they could actually do?
Yeah, I would say don't buy into fear, right? Don't believe everything that you see or read, but don't even watch the news.
Yes,
that is
a lot of people are not watching the news.
No. I said, don't buy into fear. Know that you need to keep your immune system up and boosting your immune system with sunshine, vitamin D3, vitamin C.
God has been nice to us. God has been nice to us because we've had really gorgeous weather.
Yeah. Well, there we are.
More light is coming in, more light.
It's important to keep the immune system up, and that's one. The immune system has to be kept up, and fear is one thing that will bring the immune system down. So don't buy into fear, and get out in the sunshine, get out in nature, go for walks in nature, walk on the grass, sit on the grass, walk barefoot on the grass, hug a tree. I don't care what you do, but just reconnect with nature. Those are the 3 things I would say. And enjoy the beauty of the simplicity of
we had one of the questions is that if you have to recommend one book, what would it be?
World Bridger. I think I've already answered that one.
Oh, say it again.
World Bridger by
Juliet.
By Juliet
Carter.
Carter, yes. And you probably get it through Amazon. You'd have to go online to get it.
Yeah. Okay, that's fabulous. And what about yourself, Lynne? Say if somebody wanted to find you and have a therapy session or a chat or a talk or something, how would they find you? Have you got a website or a Facebook page?
I've got a website. I don't even know what it is. I think it's lynnebowkett.com. But I'm listed in the Kinesiology Federation as well. But I think it's just a minute. I don't know. I don't know what I've got. Oh, hang on a sec. I've got a card. I can tell you what my website is. Yes, it's www.lynnebowkett.com, and it's LYNNE. Or you can also email me on lynnebowkett.co.uk.
Fabulous. And are you on social media, Lynne?
I'm on Facebook. You can, message me on Facebook. Yeah.
Okay. And so are you page Lynne Bowkett on Facebook?
Yeah, just Lynne Bowkett, yeah.
Okay. Fabulous.
And are you still working now during this time, or?
I'm doing some video calls, yes, and managing to do some work video. I find that hairdressers can go back to work, pubs can open, but therapists can't go back to work face to face because we are needed too much.
Wear the shield and all these PPI.
Oh, I wouldn't wear a mask because I've muscle tested, and when you see a mask, it immediately makes all your muscles go weak, and it puts you into fight or flight. So this is danger. We all subconsciously we feel, you know, there is a threat.
Yeah, it's a threat, isn't there? Yes.
Yeah. And so that's one of the very insidious and very clever ways to make people frightened and to put them into adrenal alert is to see, you know, make sure that everybody has to wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's also symbolic of not being able to speak.
That's right.
You know, not being able to speak your truth, or you know, not being able to communicate who you are. Yeah, it's and disconnection, isn't it?
It's complete. And also because we can't decipher facial recognition and what's happening, then it sort of actually prevents the vagus nerve, prevents us from being in ventral vagus, and we go into dorsal vagus, which is the fight or flight, because we can't decipher. We don't know what people are thinking, so we don't feel safe.
Yeah, because we can't read people's emotions. But so what do you see? When will this thing sort itself out?
When Boris gets off his backside and decides to do something positive. Basically.
No, but it's throughout the world. It's not just Boris.
No, but
throughout the world.
But other countries are starting to sort themselves out as well.
Not according to a little article I read about New Zealand. She's with them as well. So are all the prime ministers. So I want to know, where exactly does the money come from?
What money?
They're all borrowing billions of pounds.
It's from the taxpayers of the country, and from our bank accounts. So what they're going to do is try and shut down cash completely, so you won't be able to have any cash. Everything will be electronic, and then that enables them to close down your bank account, and you cease to have any money.
And
we'll do that. But we can stop that, you know, we say no. Politicians are supposed to be the servants of the country, the servants of the public, not our masters. They are supposed to be our servants, to serve our wishes and to represent our wishes.
That's what people are saying, and the Americans are saying that, and they've got 250 million. Oh, well, I hope they wake up. And all throughout Europe, even in Germany, they're saying it. You know, we've got to have our sovereignty back.
Yeah, exactly.
But
so this is
pulling?
You know?
I know you're saying there's this overlord. How do we get to them and cut their?
Well, we have a choice.
I think it's by us owning our own sovereignty.
Yeah, we do it electromagnetically. Yes, we reconnect our electromagnetic circuits. We vote electromagnetically by reconnecting those circuits and by becoming our own sovereign being.
Yes. So, for example, if somebody can't do the template ceremonies, is there something they could buy that would connect them or help them in any way?
Or the sacred geometry will temporarily connect when you're wearing it, specific circuits. So that can help, and just make the effort to do the ceremonies if you possibly can.
Or what can we do on a daily basis? 1 minute. What can we do on a daily basis? Quickly, 1 minute.
Lynne's already answered that, hasn't she?
No. But like meditation or an affirmation, we can say.
Go outside in the sunshine.
No. Affirmation, we can
say, I am a conscious conduit of light and love.
That's it.
I am safe.
Lovely.
I am secure. I am love.
That's lovely. Thank you, Lynne.
Thank you, Lynne.
Okay.
High five.
High five. Yeah.
That's fabulous. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
And hope people will start thinking about the template ceremonies and read about the template and read about those people who disconnected us, because we know